I wish good things to you who's watching this. I am Alexey, and we're even closer to the decisive events of the qualifying rounds of the 2025 Carcassonne Champions League. We are starting the stream spontaneously early, exactly an hour early because the match was unexpectedly rescheduled due to external circumstances. So instead of starting at 1400 UTC, which we are starting at 1300 UTC, which is 3 minutes ago. So hopefully that either you make time to watch this live, or that it just so happens that this time also works for you. But we have to react quickly to the players' circumstances. Now, both players have already lost their round one, so this means that this is a match for them for survival. This is a Q4 qualification bracket, so that is qualification for 8 top-rated players on Board Game Arena. In the first round, João lost a very close match against David Bourdois of Catalonia, and I've had another Neibalter against Karupayun, and in fact Karupayun of Argentina was very close to winning that match in the second game, but it didn't happen. Managed to swindle that out with a very specific tile sequence, and that's how they both lost round one. And because it's a double elimination system, everybody can afford only one loss. So one of these players will move on to the semifinals of the low bracket, where they will be facing the Taiwanese master with a screen name Penguin EM, and to the other one, sadly, we will have to say goodbye. So the game probably has started by now. We can see how evenly matched are the players. Hi, Kaika. And they are playing really, really fast as well, as in just 5 minutes, or less than 5 minutes, 30 tiles nearly have been placed. But it looks like João here with the green meeples had easy decisions, you know, draw monastery, place meeple, draw monastery, place meeple, draw monastery, place meeple. And of course it's looks very good for green, but what happened right now is that the Argentinian player who's playing the red meeples just drew the penultimate starting tile from the deck and managed to finish a sizable 16-point city, get the first farmer on the field. João is now experiencing some meeple troubles as well, and meepling a new road. I really like the aggression, except that's interesting. Actually, no, I like meepling the road here, but a move which I think is superior, maybe meepling the road 1 square lower. Also, now I'm surprised that Karupayun didn't invade that road. It's just so good. Interesting how both players are managing to make decisions very, very fast. So an issue with this move is that it makes the city vulnerable, but the upside of that move is that it can allow for a very long loop road, and it can allow to finish that road without a road end, which would be worth 10 points. And we can also see how Karupayun managed to block not 1, not 2, but 3 meeples of João with just 1 meeple of his. So the first game starts already looking really rough for the Portuguese player, although at first it looked like he had the advantage. While he's fighting back a little bit now, 16 points on the scoreboard, drops a farmer to equalize, but that long-term meeple disadvantage, that just should bite green so hard. There's still a way to turn this game around. The main idea here from green's perspective would be to draw some quick point tiles to keep parity on the scoreboard. Not a tile like this, that's certainly not particularly helpful. Especially what's not helpful is that the Argentinian managed to equalize the green city at the bottom, which was a 10-point city as work in progress, but not anymore. At the top, red is threatening another 8-pointer, so maybe João can start breaking it either here, or just by directly attaching that tile Not sure how effective that's going to be when he has one meeple in hand. But probably still worth trying. The Argentinian gets a straight line and drops a 9-point farmer. That should hurt really hard for green, because the idea is, like, even if this guy does not invade afterwards, 9 points is an amazing investment for a meeple. That's more than any of João's blocked meeples. So at least the 10-point road and the meeple back should really, really help. The Argentinian with a Dorito tile. And the tricky decision. Simply decides to add a couple of points to himself. Yeah, it's now the Argentinian with a meeple disadvantage. So anything can still happen. João is a really resilient player, generally also like one that keeps his cool a lot. I would, at least like when I play him, he comes across as somebody who's really strong psychologically. So, you know, like with the attitude, okay, well, if I'm behind in this position, this is just the kind of position that we play. What's the best move when I'm 14 points behind on the scoreboard? Well, I know, score some points. And score some points he does. 4 points to the Portuguese scoreboard. Now it is 30 Portugal, 30 Argentina. Great tile for the Argentinian, as he's going to get 9 points on the scoreboard and a meeple back from the monastery. Can't imagine anything else. Well, actually I can. If he's very greedy, instead of meepling this road, he can just go here first, pre-build this road, and then try to draw another curve so that he can also score 4 points for this road afterwards. I don't think it's worth doing. I would just go over here straight away. Probably meeple this road, because this loop road is very hard to block. The reason why it's very hard to block is because there's still 6 crossroads still remaining, all kinds of curve voids, and that's why red is not afraid to place his penultimate meeple on the road. Hi Afonso. Okay, good to know that we have the same alarm song. Also, this kind of, I guess, explains my voice a little bit. João with the Dorito tile. Probably can do a bit of blocking, but then eventually he'll need to farm. So the bit of blocking that I'm thinking is actually facing the city side over here, just reducing the number of tiles that fit into that square and delay this road meeple from recovery. The other alternative is drop a farmer straight away here for 3 points and then invade through that road, but then red will just not finish his road. Okay, so that's what he does. Interesting, interesting. Going for the invasion straight away. And that might work, yeah. Will we get some quick wins though? 3 points at the bottom, look appealing. As karupayun scores 4 points at the top. Now that I think about this, if João manages to maintain at least parity on the field, and then not allow the Argentinian to hurt him with the long-term meeple advantage, then this position is looking good for the Portuguese player. Despite the 10-point lead on the scoreboard, these monasteries, despite being blocked, they will score 24 at the end of the game once the tile is placed over here. So red has only a couple points, well, I guess more than a couple, in blocked cities, and together with the scoreboard lead, they just equal the monastery points. Alright, so that's now a big threat of the city being completed. João was forced to invest his last meeple trying to invade that city. But if he's successful, that will be a huge, huge gain for green, because all of these moves spent on accruing points by red will be neutralized. If and only if green draws one of the 3 remaining Doritos in the deck. At least a way how green could benefit how red could benefit rather, is if green draws the Dorito, but it takes him a long time, and maybe he draws some scoring tiles that he is not able to take advantage of. Yeah, so the case in point, the city caps, the splitter, so we would have loved to go here and score points, but we can't because we don't have a meeple. So probably just go here and kind of set up some marginal field connection opportunities. Maybe going here could also be okay, just to not allow his meeple get trapped, because he needs, he does need to get a meeple back. Yeah, so the reason why going here was a good idea, I think, is because it still preserves a chance to draw one of the two Doritos with the road, with a field rather. And there's only one Dorito with the road, so we're sacrificing one of our available tiles to make sure that the other two still fit. Okay, João with a city cap, which we can't meeple again. I think, well, okay, that works. I would have maybe played a slightly different move, maybe just going over here, starting to eliminate field connection platforms. Well, a splitter tile, something that karupayun would have loved to place over here to separate the two cities. João is not one who's going to go here. Oh, that's an excellent move. This just eliminates field connection opportunities from the north. The next thing that João will need to do is just take care of this platform, because the field is currently equal for both players. And the Argentinian needs to do one of the two things: either invade the field or just score points. Score enough points to outrun the city being equal. Oh, and red actually with that move sets up a blocking platform here and an invasion platform to the main field. Gets a scoring tile as the Portuguese player uses this city cap as a tile for indirect defense, making it a bit harder to block that square. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2 curves still remaining. And if the Argentinian gets one of them, he'll place it over here, destroying green's hopes of connection and intimacy with this city meeple. Two minutes on the Argentinian clock. Probably thinking between quick points, between the different options positionally. Oh, he goes for this option, which actually eliminates the field connection platform. I'm not sure if that favors him. I would have probably preferred a more neutral move, just kind of going here. João with a great tile, a curvy tile, goes there to protect the square because there was one other curvy tile remaining. But now that he has done this, this allows karupayun to maybe get another. Oh yeah, this is a great opportunity for the Argentinian. He can go here, drop a farmer, already have insurance in case João finishes this shared city. Then this farmer here hypothetically will score 6 points. And there will also be a chance of entering the main field like this through the one remaining curve from this square. Seems to be like easily the best move for karupayun, or these 4 points are good enough. Although what these 4 points do, they kind of like set up a field connection opportunity here. But 4 points are 4 points and a meeple back. The scoreboard lead of the Argentina looks mighty impressive. And João still can't draw his tile. Well, the last curve goes for karupayun. I'm surprised about this move. I think that's the first misstep of the game. Or not. No, it is. So he should have used it to connect to the field over here. Well, okay, he does this now at the very least, so that's something. Still no Dorito for João. And the Argentinian drops a farmer here, which makes sense, but then now that the final curve has been drawn, I don't think there's a connection opportunity to this city anymore, to this field. So the Argentinian should outrun any city opportunities. There is actually a strongest move here. The strongest move is to go here and drop a farmer for 3 points, because if João has a triangle in hand, he'll go here and give more points to red. So this 3-point farm will turn into a 6-point farm. This 3-point farm will turn into a 6-point farm. And red will also have a meeple back. So whatever red does, red needs to spend a meeple now, because in the scenario where green gets a Dorito tile and goes over here, green will be giving a meeple back to red. So red needs to make sure to avoid a meeple surplus and actually spend all of his riches here. So any move that spends a meeple is just fine. And the Argentinian does find the best end game move. Well done, saying João. Yeah, and actually there is no real point in finishing this city, I think. Because look at this. So this part of the city is worth 7 points. And this part of the city is worth 1 point. By connecting them together... yeah, exactly. So João doesn't even bother connecting. By connecting them together, he'd be gaining 6 points immediately. Because he would be equalizing a 1-point city with a 7-point mini city, but he also would lose 6 points because he would give 3 points to this red farmer and 3 points to this red farmer. So after this move, the city connection is just a 0-point move. So very nice recognition here from Karupayun, and blocking this, of course, was devastating for the Portuguese player. As beautiful as this stack of monasteries actually looked, well, the last one wasn't even meepled. Yeah, there was a point for João, actually, where he could have defended that square, and he didn't. I think that might have cost him the game, because look at the score. It's actually not even that far. So 14 points is the difference. Of course, that is convincing, but this is a bit less than you would expect. You know, when one of the sides has 3 meeples blocked. So nice fight here from João with this long road and with the equalization of the 2 farms. Just couldn't get a meeple back in time to try and drop a 3rd farmer somewhere and swindle a win in this game. As the players are taking a 2-minute break, we will be updating the score. Where is it? Yeah, there we go. The Argentinian taking the first one. A reminder to you all that this is a best of 3 format. So we are expected to have at least 1 more game, maybe 2. Okay, karupayun's ready. That's fantastic. Let's now start. So the game has been created and it has started as well. João is not starting this. The Argentinian player is starting this with a Dorito tile. An immediate invasion from the Portuguese player is in order. And the first road will be claimed by red. Again, an invasion from João. Kind of needs to decide from which side. I'm not sure if there is any particular advantage. There probably is some sort of case of dagger asymmetry, but no time to analyze that. Red is starting a new city on the top, also with prospects of invading the shared city in the middle of the Dorito tile and a triple city tile. João gets the first monastery for 5 points, slight advantage for green as a result. Another juicy monastery spot over here, road scoring point over here. Now red's thinking what to do with this tile. I think the answer is you don't finish the city, and red clearly doesn't want to do it. So you really want to keep that threat alive of actually taking over that city. That would be really nice. And the answer is probably you just go here, you bite your tongue, and you add 1 point to green's monastery just for the sake of having the best possible platform of starting a city. Also some chances of placing a straight line over here, separating the longer road of red and the shorter road of green. And also curtailing the options for this little road piece. Yeah, that looks best. An alternative is also to go here, but it's actually not a very strong move. João can draw a Dorito easily and attack both of these guys. And I think it's a misstep, actually. So karupayun basically starts a new city up top with the logic that he doesn't want to add 1 point to João. But this 1 point is not as bad as the positional concessions that this move is making. So this city is now currently easily attackable, either with another city or with a straight line. And the chances of completing this sequence with a Dorito and a triple city are actually diminished significantly because of this one platform over here. Another concession of this move is, while it looks like it starts harassing the monastery, this is not really the case. There is now just simply a better platform for a 5-point monastery to place over here. Well, this will change if red draws a road tile or something like this. So maybe red probably should go over here now. Yeah, break that monastery spot. So take advantage from the positive sides of that move. And green's trying to invade the city, which makes sense. No other good place to start a new city. Also, green did not want to go here because this tile is open-ended from both sides. So if green were to go here, there are some scenarios how red can draw a bunch of Doritos and instead of taking over the city at the bottom, take over the city at the top. Red chose not to attack the monastery, which I don't think is right. I think that the second monastery is a gigantic threat in a position like this. It's like, imagine if you're green, if you draw one of the 4 vanilla monasteries. Oh yeah, that's how we could call them. Yeah, so if you draw one of the 4 vanilla monasteries, meaning monasteries without the road, then you just put them here, and you're doing great with all this spatial control and all these points. So, especially if you gotta make this move, and you're gonna create that platform, well, you better use that platform now. So now all these cities are starting to get combined. Yeah, and it seems to me that the Argentinian player chooses not to go here solely for the reason of protecting his city at the top, does not want to create another invasion or blocking platform, which is understandable, but still, that threat of the second monastery should hurt. Yeah, and actually, so now the situation is different. Now you probably can't go over here as red. And now red chooses to block the shared city, which does not really make much sense to me, and red is blocking his own road. Yeah, green is getting the monastery, which could have been prevented. I'm really questioning a lot of red choices with the road, and the reason why I did not like this move, well, I guess it blocks a shared city, so in that sense it just minimizes the variance in this game a little bit. But you're also blocking your own road piece, because these two roads aren't connected yet. João can easily drop a crossroads, go here, build his own loop road, and leave the red's meeple stranded with 5 points, because it's actually quite tricky to find a tile that fits into that square. There are only 2 daggers remaining that fit here, and red already needs one of those. Now this guy's being attacked. Ooh, karupayun has an interesting move here. So the normal move after an attack like this is to actually add the city to your opponent, making sure that the fate of these two meeples are tied. And this is probably what you still need to do. On the other hand, these two juicy monasteries are just waiting to get Ukrained. Going over here, placing a meeple on the city, that would be quite uncomfortable for these two guys. So if not for this meeple over here, I would have gone over here in a heartbeat. And then the idea is that you kind of try to add city tiles, add points to yourself, build around, and then delay the development of these monasteries whilst also developing your city. But green's threat at the top is too much, so this prophylactic move is in order first. But this allows João to build up his monasteries quite a lot. And karupayun is trying to block, which is too little too late. But it's something, you know. It at least prevents one more monastery. High Glovir. I guess most of my neutral viewers will be rooting for the Portuguese player here, simply because that way we get an extra game of Carcassonne. Reminder that this is a best-of-3 format. So João just uses this tile as a blocking tile, but it's not even a blocking tile, it sort of just creates a blocking platform. And instead, I would have probably preferred going here. Just adding a monastery point, making it a bit easier to separate the roads in the future, because that's something that you might want to do. Or actually, you might even, as with this tile, it might be even a good idea to place it with the city tile down, because all the 5 road Doritos are still available. On the other hand, all the 5 road Doritos, well, they still fit here. That's where green needs them. In this position, it matters a lot who draws the first row Dorito, because let's say if green draws it, green goes here, gets a meeple advantage on this 7-point ruin, and then threatens to draw a straight line and block this connection and leave this guy stranded with 1 point. If red draws a Dorito first, red goes over here, gains advantage on this 7-point ruin, and threatens to draw a row tile to block this square to keep the green guy stranded with 2 points. So Doritos with the road will matter a lot, which is probably, it's a good thing that João does not require specifically a road Dorito tile here. Any curvy tile will do to continue his monasteries. The Argentinian decides to simply finish his city, due to this slight pressure here from the Portuguese player. A city cap from João. Presumably will go over here to pre-finish one of his monasteries and sets up a city cap that would allow him to complete his monastery and score 4 points for a city. The one downside of this move is the fact that it would leave a 3-point road out in the open with 6 crossroads and a bunch of other road finishing tiles in the deck, and this would allow red to get 4 easy points, plus creating a blocking platform against this square. But despite this downside, I can't see green not going there. Green could meeple the road, theoretically, but then green would be not able to take those 4 points. Oh, look how interesting. So Karupayun chooses not even to take those 4 quick points. He instead wants to try and blocking this monastery square, but he's not successful as immediately a city tile is drawn. 9 points go to João's scoreboard. New city is occupied. It's in a slightly precarious spot, but he still needs to place a meeple over here. But a great tile for the Argentinian. 4 points for the road. The blocking platform against this guy, as said earlier. Now a good tile for João, and he chooses to finish his 6-point city, and I agree with him. He could have defended this square, but this tile is too good, and you need this tile to get a meeple back because this guy was in a dangerous position anyway. So now some farming opportunities, as the main field in the center is worth already 6 points, probably will be worth more. João with... Oh, there we go. Yeah, I told you that about this road separation. He's now trying to get a meeple back from this road. And to block red on this square. Karupayun takes some quick points, but a great tile for João again. Probably going to go over here. Well, definitely going to go over here. The only question is with a meeple or without. I kind of feel that going with a meeple is better. Just because there's still plenty of Dorito tiles to go around. But he chooses to be a bit more cautious and not meepling this. Karupayun blocks the monastery. Nothing fits in this square anymore. João still has an advantage on the scoreboard, but... an advantage on meeples goes to Karupayun. João gets the first Dorito tile that we were talking about and complete the sequence that we were talking about. And this is just a gigantic gain for the Portuguese player. Only 1 point for Karupayun here. Only 5 for the road. That's 6 in total for 3 blocked meeples. And green has 9 points for this ruin and 2 blocked meeples. So green has more points and fewer blocked meeples in that situation. That's the Carcassonne equivalent. That's the mini battle Carcassonne equivalent of a slam dunk. And the long-term meeple advantage is still with the Argentinian. As João starts a new city, hoping to seal all doors shut regarding this square. Karupayun does not draw a defense, but he's trying to build the city on the left. Oh, he's now trying to not build the city on the left just yet. I think the idea of the Argentinians is to continue the city with 3 Doritos, and plenty of Doritos are still in the deck. And João is... blocking the square successfully, but also exposing his meeple a lot. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure Karupayun will go over here in a heartbeat, or not in a heartbeat. But there will be only 1 tile remaining that fits over here. Then Karupayun will finish his city, and then probably seal the door shut on that meeple completely. So the prospects of this 1-point meeple aren't great. This is something that very often happens in Carcassonne. Kind of, you use a meeple to block another meeple, and then that meeple get blocked. Like these serial blocking sequences, you know, you block me, I block you, are super entertaining. So now more blocking from João this time, as he's making it much, much harder for Karupayun to finish the city. And crucial decision now here. So first of all, the Argentinian draws the 1 remaining last dagger that would fit into that square. So this meeple is not going to survive unless somehow the Argentinian goes crazy and decides to help out his opponent, which he won't. But this also happens to be the last dagger that goes into this square. And if red wants to try and maybe threaten a big city, then he probably should go over here. But then, even though this city would still be alive, it still required a lot of squares before finishing it, and he goes for it. He decides to go for it. An alternative was just simply scoring 4 quick points and then getting a meeple back, and then trying to work with that meeple majority. And then if you were to threaten that city, you can draw a splitter. But I think Red decided that there's still plenty of city caps to get this guy back. And then the threat of completing a big city is really nice. It would force João in a lot of uncomfortable moves. Now João is going to play with just one meeple for the remainder of the game, because I can't see how anything is coming back from the board except for these two meeples, but it's not going to be good for green because he won't be getting any extra meeple back comparison to his opponent. They both will be getting a meeple back, which is not good enough. Yeah, so the cities are now connected. 2 city caps away from finishing that monstrosity. Blocking the city from the Portuguese player is something of strategic importance. So do you just go here? Ah, no, he decided this tile is not good enough for blocking. Instead, he wants to continue his city at the top, which also makes sense, because like, how else are you going to score with 1 point? He's going to try and draw one of the cow tiles, maybe? The one remaining cow tile, go here, then draw the last remaining giraffe's neck, go here, connect this little city to this piece, block that square, get a 7 points or 8 points ruin here. All that whilst he also needs to dodge threats from Karupayun. Red gets some more stuff here, kind of securing some sizable number of city caps that allow him to finish this city. 4 quick points for João. That's big actually, because these are also 3 quick points for his field. 9-point farmer with not great invasion opportunities. Karupayun with a scoring tile could score 3 points for a road, but that would not be a good idea because that would be delaying his city significantly. I think probably you're better off scoring 2 points over here, because what that would do, it would set up a fields connection opportunity through the outside of a Dorito curve in the future, just in case you need it. João with a great tile, but you need it in 2 places. You want to go over here and block that square and continue your ruin, because you really need to continue scoring if you're behind this much. Or you want to go over here, trying to make sure that your opponent's city does not get completed. It's a very tough choice. I was inclined to actually place it over here, but, well, just because this tile is so perfect for there, but João decided that the city is just too dangerous. And he might be correct. Because, like, I just have the tendency of trying to be as efficient as possible with my tiles, but when the threats are so urgent, you sometimes don't have the luxury to. I guess the one difference that I would have preferred instead is maybe going over here instead of over here, because in addition to blocking the city in a similar fashion how it is in the game, it would also block field invasion opportunities from up top. Karupayun can draw a city cap, draw a farmer, draw a road tile. Yeah, wait. I think this other move is just clearly better, because João would be threatening a road move over here, which would completely block the square, given the fact that all 4 starting tiles, all 4 city plus road like this, are already on the board. So I think it's a tactical miss. It would be interesting to know in the chat, like, if anybody has an idea why would this move be preferable to the other move. I think I know why. Okay, I know why. He didn't want to go over here because this would allow Karupayun to draw the 1 remaining horse tile and go over here and score 3 quick points. But in reality, it's still possible for Karupayun. He's just going to go over here, score 3 quick points, and then just get a Dorito tile and connect. Hi, Kirillo. Rooting for João, which also means rooting for more Carcassonne, because if João wins, we get a decider. Yeah, João trying to block some more. Karupayun probably should give up on finishing that city at this point. He's not far behind on the scoreboard, and in fact, if he just finishes his other city here, he's going to be equal. He's going to have the meeple majority, and he can just invade the field. Okay, João now gets the horse tile, the last remaining horse tile, so there's nothing that fits into that square. He continues his ruin, sets up something like this that would allow him to expand his ruin further. Karupayun probably should start a new city somewhere. Just prior to that, needs to do a quick check if there is a sufficient number of city caps to justify putting a meeple on the new city. I think there is. Well, at least neither of the two splitters have played, so that would have been a good move. Finally, 3 quick points for João, also eliminating a field connection platform on the left, potentially. Now, Karupayun with an interesting decision. Do you go over here and take quick points? Also eliminate the opportunity of scoring 3 points for your opponent with a curve? Or do you go here and meeple this long road and try to draw one of the last 2 remaining crossroads to finish this road? Given the fact that this guy is easily recoverable, so red will not stay without meeples, I probably prefer the aggressive move over here. Like, this 7-point road is just too good, but he goes for the more cautious move of the immediate 2 points. João, 4 quick points. Also shortens the city a little bit from growth. Monastery tile for the Argentinian. Not much to do, except maybe we can shape the board in a favorable way. Maybe we can block this road a little bit in order not to allow João to do the thing that I suggested last turn. Like, if we go over here, then a road end tile no longer goes here. Decides to block some city caps, but there's another city cap over here. But maybe Karupayun's idea was simply to prepare meepling a field, which he can do now, actually. The 6-point field is pretty good. Yeah, then this guy can still, get himself a meeple back. João can probably go here and start harassing this city. Karupayun sadly will need to not score points for this road tile. By the way, the idea that I was saying earlier would have totally worked. Would have gotten a meeple back and so on. Yes, maybe instead of that move, what I would have preferred is just going here and creating some security, some additional security for this city. Just make sure that it's a bit harder to block. He's now counting city caps, defends the city. That's very nice. He knows that there's still, at the very least, a splitter tile that goes over here. Now, probably going to go over here as well, as João just really tries hard to block that city. Also, I'm surprised how quick the Portuguese player is playing. Has he already counted all the points? Because I haven't. Hi, Ian. João gets the splitter, which I think should be it. Because there are no vanilla city tiles. That was actually the last city cap that fits into that square. Karupayun has a 9-point farm right here, but that ain't no mean nothing, because on his last move, João will probably go over here and score a farmer himself. Unless this last tile is a road Dorito, which it is. So that was a very nice move here from Karupayun. Not giving up, simply preparing to block that, road, because if João were to get the road Dorito, then he can't take the 7-point road anymore. But it is the Argentinian player who gets the road Dorito anyway, and João just scores 6 points for a city over here. Choose your style point, either 6 points here or 6 points for the field. Goes for the city, as I would have too. And it looks like the Portuguese player gonna have it. A bit tough luck for the Argentinian to the end, to be honest. Like, not drawing a single city cap that fits here, whilst there were, I believe, 3 still in the deck with so few tiles remaining. Yeah, like if you start a city like this, you really expect to complete it the vast majority of the time. But you know, sometimes endgames are like this, and even if that with that completed city, João had a firm advantage on the scoreboard with control of the main field, this juicy ruin over here. So yeah, alright, congratulations to all my Portuguese fans and all my neutral fans, because this means that the match is tied and we're headed in for a decider. Yeah, so some crucial moments in this game. I think the second monastery could have been disallowed. Then this blocked meeple as well from red could have been avoided. So I sort of felt that João was a bit more precise in this game so far. 1-1 seems to be a reasonable, fair outcome. So it all now comes down to the last game, which has already started, and it is the Portuguese player with a Dorito tile going to claim the first city. João is saying, hope who wins goes until the end of the bracket. Oh yeah, sure. And whoever goes until the end of that bracket will actually end up facing either me or Rabbit Rain in the consolidated finals, depending on who loses the encounter between me and Rabbit Rain. Of course, I hope for a particular outcome of that match. So far, natural moves for both players. I know João here with a couple of roads, but these 2 roads serve different purposes, so you know they justify the 2 different meeples. I love this move here, but from karupayun, making it annoying for green. And now, what do you do actually? Do you go here? Or do you go here? Because like green's doing well. Like green is doing a counter block. I mean, it's not a block. It's just kind of creating a block and connection platform. But sometimes attack is the best defense. Because green was now threatening to severely restrict this city over here, red was forced, instead of using this tile for blocking as initially intended, he was forced to continue his own city and defend. Certainly not something that he can be complaining about, because this is preparing to become a 14-point city. Karupayun with a curve tile, a difficult decision. Possible moves include starting on your road for 3 points, or going over here, preparing to block that square. He just goes for the points first. João now will equalize the city at the top. That is by far the greatest threat in the position. The only question is if you go here or if you go here. Probably going here is a little bit better, simply because you're adding, you know, 1 immediate point to your side of the city rather than the side of your opponents, in case they never get joined. João with a straight line. No, Karupayun with a straight line. Probably going to go over here and maybe put some pressure on this square. This is exactly what happens, adding 1 point to the road. Hi, Victor. João starting a new city and attacking. So Karupayun has some options here. Initially, he wanted to go here and try blocking the square, but he can't, because the threat of green going over here and overrunning the city with one of the cow tiles, one of the 4 remaining cow tiles, is just too great. So that needs to be immediately addressed. So red equalizes the city, also preserves the chances of drawing one of the 2 remaining splitters and keeping himself the larger city compared to the smaller 6-point city of green. But this also means that green has time to finish the road safely. Yeah, so green is navigating the vulnerability of these 2 meeples excellently, because he just always creating counter threats and not allowing Karupayun to follow through on the block. Well, at least now that happens, but finally João draws the starting tile, so maybe it was actually time for Karupayun to go here. I don't think this move actually does accomplish that much. Could have gone over here and just given fewer tiles for João to finish that city, because not only does he finish that city, he actually gets to continue this road indirectly. This looks really, really good for João, who also, by the way, if he wants, he can now go over here, sort of blocking that square, give himself a little mini battle of 3 points. I don't think he has to do that. I think scoring 2 immediate points is better. Oh wait, I'm forgetting, João was green. Yes, obviously you don't want to go over here, that would be bad. So really the only move seems to be just going here, scoring 2 points, and 12-0 on the scoreboard. Need to just update the score over here. We are tied. This is the decider. The Argentinian finally on the scoreboard gets 4 points over here. João invades his city, but also prepares some farming opportunities. Some quick points for João. In the meantime, Karupayun manages to shorten this road like it's some piece of cortado coffee. Now it's going to be only score 3 points in case, João even draws one of the 2 remaining tiles that fits into that square. Green with a Dorito tile and the temporary meeple advantage. Probably good to start a new city. Maybe here, yeah, this piece looks juicy enough. There are lots of big city tiles remaining, so we can go for a lip-shaped city perhaps. I wouldn't be worried about blocking opportunities. That seems to be perfectly safe. He also might want to be early on the field, but it doesn't seem to be a worthwhile investment of the shielded tile, and he does indeed go for this move over here. Now Karupayun finishes a 5-point road, gets closer on the scoreboard, now threatens to take over the city over here. João surely will now go over here and farm. That's a great move here from João. Not only farming, but also restricting the options for this city. But nevertheless, the Argentinian does draw the tile that he needs over here. Should probably go over here, set up the threat of overrunning the city, and be 1 city tile, city cap away from covering this up. João, now in a tricky position. He needs to use this tile to continue his city, use this tile to invade the city, but he has only 1 meeple, so probably the best move for him is just going over here, scoring 3 points, doing the Pindertron maneuvers, pointing the city cap outwards, and then simply trying to block the city instead of rather than connecting. What was that a misclick? What is green doing here? 3 points, great, but why are we helping our opponent build cities? What's with the charity here? Because like it certainly does not helping a block. There's still plenty of Doritos that our opponents can use and go over here. I am 90% sure it is a misclick, or maybe somebody hasn't had their morning coffee just yet. Can somebody in the chat tell me what was that about? I mean, it has to be a misclick. Or, some sort of psychological warfare. But if you are João, you have to say, well, thank you so much. Okay, now finally we see that all the cities at the top are equalized. The threat of drawing the splitter and having a 12-point city worth versus a 6-point city is no longer there. Okay, now clear mistake from João. This placement is good because it severely restricts this square, but it's a city cap in your field. You always leave it meepleless, especially when you have only 1 meeple on the board, because you know that your opponent is not going to take the 4 quick points on for the city cap, because your opponent is not going to open this not going to open this blocking platform. Now Karupayun gets a fantastic tile. Pick your, of course, one of the two fantastic road positions. And now João gets in trouble because he doesn't have a meeple to score points because he spent like his last meeple over here. I'm surprised, like two really, really straightforward mistakes here by the Portuguese player. Carupayun now with a chance to either start a new road here, or block the square. It goes for the blocking. Okay, João gets a meeple back from the road, but he's not able to score 3 points. So 5 points. 5 points is the final cost of João's mistake here. Let's see if the game is decided by less than 5 points, then we know why that would be the case. Yeah, so now he, of course, is trying to invade that city over here, or at the very least block that square, but he could have done the same move without placing a meeple over here. You place a meeple only after you get the Dorito. Anyway, so I'll stop being in shock and just try to comment further on the game as the Argentinian player is trying to block that square, understandably. But even if that square gets blocked, the consolation that the Portuguese fans might have is the fact that the Argentinian was not able to use these straight lines for these two incredibly lucrative 6-point roads which are in the position still. Yeah, you see, and João does eventually just, bail out and decide, you know what, like, you want to finish that city, that's fine. There are only 2 tiles that are remaining here anyway, so. And also, this move inflicts a lot of pain and damage to all my Argentinian fans because it delays the development of both this monastery and this city. So now Carupayun needs a splitter in 2 places. He needs a splitter over here to try and finish the city, and he needs a splitter over here to try and get this city meeple back. What about that square? Well, the prospects also aren't great because there's only 1 tile remaining that fits into that square. Still 1 dagger, but only 1. So, a good development for my Argentinian fans here as this city with the green meeple on it is blocked for just 6 points. But as I said, spending 3 lines, normally useless tiles, but in this position, actually straight lines are incredibly valuable, and João is able to use one of them to start himself a nice 6-point road, which is now being hindered by Red. He says, you know what, you block this one, I'm just going to start another 6-point road. Yeah, so that's why, like, if you get your meeple blocked, it may look, oh, super sad, I'm gonna lose this game, but not really. Because green is able to get all those juicy roads, whilst red was understandably trying to block. Carupayun with a Dorito tile. What do you do with it? Do you go over here and simply go all out for that city cap tile? I think you do. I'd probably, like, these are immediate 3 points, 2 through the city, 2 through the monastery. If you don't finish your city, at the very least you get some chances to develop this into a ruin. And because of this tile over here, we know that João is threatening to block that square anyway. And also, there isn't anything particularly profitable that we can do with this tile, and all these things considered, the Argentinian agrees with me, but it's more quick points and quick points and quick points and quick points for the Portuguese player. Now we also have another field potentially in the position. So, if red draws the dagger, that will be huge for them. They can go over here and drop a farmer. Now, red is in a tricky position with 16 points behind on the scoreboard. So, red should do one of 2 things. Either continue blocking this road, because there's still 1 crossroad that fits here, or go over here and create a monastery spot, just to gamble it up a little bit. A more tame version of gambling would be just going over here with the curve, setting up a 4-point road, which only the Argentinian player can benefit because this guy needs the not the curve, but what I was talking about, the crossroads there. Okay, great tile for the Argentinian. The splitter will go over here. He's gonna score his 4 points. He's gonna expand this guy's field a little bit, but that's no big deal because we have an invasion platform afterwards that we can use. I hope he's not thinking about going here and securing the city. I think it's just not worth probability-wise. And, you know, finishing the city is pretty important. Also, what he needs to realize is that the Portuguese player does not have this many blocking tiles as it might seem, and a couple of these blocking tiles are such that they prolong this guy's city anyway. So I would go here in a heartbeat, but if you go here in less than a heartbeat, that's also fine. But then also what could happen, maybe the Argentinian player goes here and prevents a block and draws the dagger tile on the next move and then makes me look like an idiot. So that's also completely possible. Karupayun, 1 minute and 15 seconds on his clock. Maybe it's a good thing to think about, like, how are you winning this game? Is completing the big city enough? It could be, because, like, you know, this guy scoring 8 points, that's nice. If we complete this city, what, it's like 16, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So yeah, 16 points for the city, 4 points here, that's 20. That puts up ahead on the scoreboard, that gives us a meeple to fight for this field. Oh, he goes for the other move. I think it's a bit too desperate too early. Well, what did I tell you? What did I tell you? And then he proves me wrong by immediately drawing the dagger tile. Man. I should stop commenting. No, I can understand that sequence because, like, the upside is also great. Now it is the Argentinian player who's ahead on the scoreboard, and he has the 9-point field as well. Man. 12 points for the city, 9 points for the monastery, meeple advantage on the scoreboard, and now my Portuguese fans should get themselves some heart medication, as João is trying to save the integrity of his road and give himself 1 tile to give a meeple back. Still possible. We also need to remind ourselves that João is, I think, still technically ahead by a couple of points. These 2 9-point fields cancel each other out. Overall, in total, Red has 5 extra ruin points, while this guy has 6. And this guy has 4 road points. So I think technically something like +3 for João at the moment. Of course, not for long, because the Argentinian has an all-important asset, which is a meeple, which is probably going to be used to attack the field. The only question whether it's going to go here or here. If you go over here, then you're just banking on this tile that fits here. You know, it gives you 4 points, gives you an invasion into the field, that just lights out. Or if you go here, maybe you can draw another tile that fits here. I'm just struggling to see if there is one. No vanilla city caps, no... Yeah, oh, that's interesting, actually. This field is not that easy to invade. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So no curves, no vanilla city caps, no Doritos, no monasteries remaining in the position. The only tile which would fit into a square like this, so which would have 2 field sides, is actually the splitter. So going over here is not really useful. If you're going to invade, just go over here. If you're hoping for this one tile that fits into that square. Again, just double checking the curves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wait, maybe 8. Maybe there is a curve after all. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, there are no curves, so I should stop double checking and just keep trusting myself. Yes, Clavier, red knew what tile they're going to draw. So both players are trading moves which require something that the Romanian Carcassonne brothers, Bogdan and Marian Curcan, like to call inspiration. And there is really something to it that, like, sometimes you sort of, like, I don't know, it's hard to explain this. Like, I'm a very rational person. I play by the probabilities. I'm not going to try and, like, I'm really not superstitious at all. But there's sometimes, that, like, it looks like your opponent's tile could be it. And, like, and you play your move thinking that your next tile is going to be that. And it is. And it's just so wonderful when that happens. Happened to me with 2 notable times. One, actually, against Bogdan Curcan in the Mind Sports Olympiad in person this year, earlier in London. And one in a different game, which I'm not going to reveal because I'm in the process of making a video about it. So both players are trading moves which are not particularly useful. But yeah, I was talking about that sort of this move over here, which would normally, which still was a mistake, but it worked out knowing what Red's style was, and then this move over here, obviously, Red just knowing that he was going to draw this. Oh, what a great move from João! Taking advantage of this little missed stake. Because now this guy cannot connect to the farm at all. Well, he can connect if he gets the splitter tile, but then this would come without these extra points. But the situation is really not looking great for João either way, because Red is scoring, and Red, I think, is 2 points ahead. I know it's fine, it's equalish, basically. So João can just score points. Oh, and also, most importantly, he drew the tile that fits into that square. So this city is no longer completable. So this means, so first of all, that this move was even more inspired, because Red didn't go over here. Because Red knew that he would not draw this tile. That's just all amazing. Yeah, wait, Afonso, I just didn't address this. Why Red did not add 2 points for himself? Did he just forget that this ruin existed? What was that about? But yeah, this tile, of course, fits into that square. It also blocks, and it's just so nice for João here. But karupayun draws the tile that João needed for his road. So I think if we just score 2 points, then the game will be completely equal. And it will all come down to that tile that fit into that square, which, by the way, just to rub it in, if João gets that tile, he will go here. He can safely score these 4 points for the city, because this guy does not have any route into the field other than through the splitter tile over here. 2 quick points for the Portuguese player with just 13 seconds on his clock. The game is completely equal. Oh, but of course, yeah, there was only 1 tile remaining. Yeah, it was like a coin flip for the entire game. And karupayun gets the tile that gets him into the field. He does not score the 4 extra city points, but he does not even have to. +7 move for the Argentinian player, and only +5 for João. So if my calculations are correct, the Argentinian has it by just 2 points. Karupayun is asking, can I ask you why you didn't block the connection? With what? With what exactly? he did block the connection on the other side. Okay, so let's see. So 3 points is the final difference, so quite close to our calculations. We congratulate all our Argentinian fans. Yeah, what a game, especially like this move with a lot of inspiration and just incredible. So commiserations to everybody who is rooting for João, who unfortunately is out of this tournament. Okay, yeah, I figured out. So the misclick trying to block the big city. So of course this move over here was not intentional. Of course the city cap needed to be turned in any of the other possible directions. Yeah, so both players doing a bit of a poor post-mortem analysis. Yeah, and karupayun saying that he got this field splitter, both of them. So I guess they're both talking that at some point there was a way to block this connection and not allow a field connection here. But João was saying that it was not good. Because there was no point in doing that because there was still an opportunity to connect from below. So the Portuguese player correctly went over here, first of all blocking the more high point scoring field connection, and then just waited until he could draw something here, but he just didn't. Anyway, very interesting game, so congratulations to karupayun, who is still alive in this tournament, and for João, better luck next year, and we'll make sure to be streaming his other games this year in the Mind Sports Olympiad and in the World Team Carcassonne Online Championship as part of Team Portugal. Alright, thank you Wisemaze for reminding me. So there is another match going on which started 15 minutes ago. The German Captain Miami versus Lord Terrycloth of the United Kingdom. I was not planning to stream that because initially both matches were scheduled for 2 p.m. and I picked the one which I found most interesting, which is this one. But because we started an hour earlier, we can actually do that, so that's great. Yeah, so let's just have a look real quick. Wait, that's Q1, I think. Q1. Wait a second. Let's just go here first, just to do a bit of a... Oh yeah, former captain. Sorry, former captain. That should be corrected. I'm pretty sure Miami was at some point, like 1 year. So karupayun won here. It's going to play against Miss Penguin. Surely going to be an exciting match, which I will hope to stream. Although time zones wise, it could be a bit difficult. South America plus East Asia. Wait. Q1 was it Q1-1, Q1-2? Yeah, Q1-3, I believe. So no. Okay, Q1-1. No, Q1-2. Yeah, okay, there we go. So this is the upper semifinals. So both players, they will be facing off for a chance to face Isloon of, well, I guess Israel currently at the top. And even if they lose, they will still have a chance to play against the Chilean vice champion here, I believe. And yeah, that should be enough of an intro because the game has already started. So where is it? Both players have already appeared on stream and won their respective duels 2-1. So Miami won against Daniel Ayala in the previous round, and they're just wrapping up their first game, which looks to be fairly close. The British player with more stuff on the scoreboard. the German player, as usual, with some farmers to make up for it. But he's not the only player with the farmers. Ooh, this gets interesting. Okay. So, big field fight matters a lot. 1, 2, on this field. This field's worth 12 points with 4 completed cities on it. Here on the right, 1, 2, this city is worth 9 points with 3 completed cities on it. 1 blue meeple over here, 3 points with 1 completed city on it. But if all 3 fields were to unify, which it doesn't look like they're going to, then this would create a lot of points for the play with the blue meeples. Lord here just dumping a city cap. Miami scoring quick points at the top. -7 for the German. This still looks to be good for the Brits. Blue has a ruin over here. So that's interesting. So 5 quick points for... wait, 5 quick points... Wait. That move was -1 point for the German. Right. -1 point, because he gets 5 points for the road, but he loses his farm because he enters 1 meeple over here. And he also expands the other guy's farm by 3 points, by adding the city there. So I'm a bit surprised to see that. I think the British player will have it regardless. Yeah, this makes me a little bit surprised. Oh, well, I guess maybe Miami's plan was to unify all these fields, but it wouldn't have worked out because, oh, look at this 3-point difference. Okay, wait. Let's just see that. So if Miami was kind of trying to unify all the fields, but if he goes here and then but then this means that Lord Terrycloth gets this tile, and then he goes here, and then he just blocks the field. But then Lord Terrycloth scores 1 point instead of 3. No, instead of 5 points that he did. So that's 4 points less. And then Miami gets a curve. Oh, wow. So that was just like a sneaky opportunity to squeak in a win. It's not about the fact that these fields could be unified. It's about the fact that just by creating the threat of unifying this field, if Lord were to draw this city tile on his last move, he would be forced, instead of taking a 3-point city or like a 3-point city here, he would be forced to take a 1-point city just to block the field connection. And this would leave Miami a curve to just score 3 normal points elsewhere. And then Miami would have won by 1. If he's calculated all that, this just looks beyond impressive. So yeah, so a move which actually gives him net -1 point in the short term actually happens to give him a 50% chance of winning the game. But also, now that I think about it, I think any move was a 50-50 win for him. Even if Miami were to just go here, like meeple this 4-point road, then he would be threatening to... Wait. Could Miami have won? Wait. Okay, instead of this tile, we go here, right? We meeple this 4-point road. So we have 1 point more in comparison to what there is in the game. Actually 2 points more, because we don't do the -1 move. So that's already only -1 for us. Then we, with either the straight line or the Dorito. We connect over here, and we get 3 extra points. So, so we get 2 extra compared to the game. We get 3 extra. We get 5 extra. Yeah, wait. So then we get 5 extra. So we just win with any tile, and the best and Lord Terrycloth can no longer use the curve to score 5 points over here. Right, because he scored 1 point for the monastery and 4 points for this road with this move. And this would no longer be possible. So, then the best he could do is maybe just score like 3 points by unifying a 9-point farm with a 12-point farm? Or just 3 points for any farmer anywhere. Yeah, and then that's it. So, unfortunately, it looks like we've seen a throw with this tile. If I'm not hallucinating, Miami had a 100% win. And also a full time on the clock. So anyway, this is a good outcome for... Yep, Miami 106, Lord 105. So, alright. Starting the day with an endgame blunder, not helpful. But that's all looks good for our British fans. Like, in the time trouble, I would understand, but with 2 minutes 35 on the clock... I'm really, really surprised. But it's something that has happened before, actually. I remember this. I forgot who the opponents was, but in the 2022 World Team Carcassonne Online Championships, in Germany's match against, I forgot who. I think Catalonia, maybe. There was a decider game against Miami, and with Miami and somebody else, and he had a 100% win, and just ended up sort of also like not using a lot of time, and instead of going for a 100% win with just scoring some quick points, he sort of attacked the main field, didn't get the tile that he needed to the field, and then like lost by a couple of points exactly like this. So that will probably like overvaluing fields in this generally. Not calculating endgames is sometimes a recurring pattern. But anyway, just 1 game down. And, you know, stellar performance against Daniel Ayala last week. Should be something that should give our German fans enough hope in this match. Wait, also, like, how did they manage to play 30 tiles already? Because we barely finished analyzing the last endgame. Alright, so now we will need to start making sense of this position, and I didn't even manage to update the score for the previous match. Okay, so Karupayun won the previous match, and let's just add some graphics. So Miami 0, Lord Terrycloth 1. Oh, wait. Let's just kind of move it a little bit more to the center. And this is Q1. Yeah, it doesn't matter what's going on in the game. No, of course it does. Alrighty, so both players are playing incredibly fast. And it looks like it's going to be a very short match, because what's happened is just Lord keeps building, scoring city caps. And Miami gets the majority on the farm, at least for now. No, he doesn't. Lord with the majority on the farm. Poor Miami, like, can't catch a break. Well, I guess the first game, of course, was sadly a missed 100% win. Instead going for the coin flip and lose it. But in the second game, it's just a lot of city caps for Lord, and he keeps taking advantage of them. Well, at least now, Miami gets a meeple back. But so does Lord by equalizing the big city, so they're now going to be a big field fight. Miami with a monastery, but he used it as a farming tile, which I already knew was going to happen. And in this case, it's probably even justified because that farming platform looked time sensitive. But as Lord, you probably love to see that move. The way that you want to win the game as Lord is, well, first of all, not leave cities like this open. I think a meeple here was due for Miami. And also, I'm surprised that Miami didn't meeple, because I think what the German player needs to realize that with 21 points behind on the scoreboard, I don't think that fighting for the field is enough. So Lord here chooses to invest in another farmer, which I would be a bit cautious of doing. I think the main idea how you win here is you just score points. And if you're gonna drop farmers, at least try to like find a 3 or a 6 point platform, so that in case you lose the main field, you still score those extra couple of points. Well, I guess Lord will score those points if these 2 cities are to be completed, especially if he draws a splitter tile, which would be very nice for him. He's going to get like the larger city, going to drop a farmer over here. He's going to score 12 points for 2 meeples. Lord blocks another fields connection platform. Still has the majority on the field, though. Miami, in all likelihood, is going to go, well, 2 options. One, we could go over here, start a new city, maybe block the square. This is exactly what happens. Lord's going to go try and block. No, he chooses to get his road meeple back. But another option for Miami was going over here to start a new city. All right, so Lord's farm is blocked. He should be sad about it, but not too sad. You know, still 27 points on the scoreboard is nice, especially after finish this long road. Still some chances to score for this farmer a little bit. Maybe just going over here, breaking this city, because there's the threat of Miami getting a city cap and then another triple city and overrunning this city. And then actually the German will have the advantage. Another tempting move is just going over here, taking an 8-point city and then just trying to complete it. So that's why with this tile, I believe the British player should have gone over here. And instead of going the field route, just simply trying to score a lot and create threats and so on. But still, it is possible to win for both players here. Lord, with a triple city tile, do you go for the big city or do you go for the safety, which would be blocking the invasion opportunity over here? Or maybe even invading yourself if you're greedy, but I don't think you should be. Yeah, okay, he goes for the city at the top. Can't blame him. Miami has a chance to invade the city, but he doesn't get the tile. He gets a quick point tile, and he uses it to connect the farms, which makes sense. And to start a road, which makes sense. Lord now threatens to finish the big city. How does that work out? Well, Miami surely must block. Exactly, yeah. So there are no tiles that fit into that square anymore. Well, technically there's one, but it would only prolong the city and not finish it. So there are no Doritos with the road, but there is still one triple city with the road, which would also give Lord 3 extra points for this road and a chance to draw a city cap and finish the city. Either way, this ruin is worth 9 points, even as ruin, and it will be worth even more if developed a little bit further. Miami with a monastery tile. Not much to do. Well, at some point, as the German, we might want to go over here and try to drop a farmer and connect through a road monastery like this. I don't think we're this desperate that yet, or are we? No, we aren't, but the main point of that move is just to simply set up this opportunity for the future. I like what this move does to the shape of the board. Lord, with the monastery again. His move is probably some sort of blocking move. Well, 2 options. One is going here, which I think is the best move, because the threat of overrunning the city is still real. I'm not sure if Green sees it. Another option is going over here, starting to block this road, making sure that the German doesn't have enough firepower to fight for the field. A third option is going over here to try and cut off this farmer from entering the field. Currently, yeah, so the Brit still has the majority on the main field with 2 against 1 for 5 completed cities and 15 points, and a minority on the smaller field worth 9 points. With 2 of these blue guys. If these 2 fields were somehow separated, then Lord would still have, more field points. But the British player does find the best move. And that's really important because Miami could have used this tile in a dangerous way. He could have either attacked the city as described before, or he could have simply connect these 2 cities and use this platform as a field invasion platform, which is no longer possible. Anyway, still doable for Miami. He needs to score some points, get some people back, win the big field. The big field is going to be 21 points. Which is still not enough. Okay, how do we do that? Okay, I see something. I see something. A glimmer of hope. Maybe we go here and just attack the farm straight away. Try to get lucky, draw a couple of road tiles to win over the big field. And then with the last meeple, we get a Dorito plus a splitter, and we finish an 8-point city in our field. An unlikely sequence, so Miami chooses to simply finish the city, but now Lord will drop a farmer, and now he will threaten to take over the big field. I think this field connection platform is excellent to get not only 1, but 2 farmers into the field. You can get that guy, and you can get that guy through here, all the way around the city. And most importantly, what this move would accomplish is that it would take out this field invasion platform from his opponent. It would force him to spend some tiles on blocking, and so on and so on. And the reason why I didn't like this farmer, but I would like this farmer, is because this farmer would already be scoring 3 points and have chances to expand this field more into 6 points. So it's a more flexible move that allows you to either invade the big field or score some small fields to maintain your scoreboard lead just high enough for your opponent not to overcome it. Lord, still with a city cap. And he does indeed go for the farming. Oh. Oof. Yeah, I'm... I don't know what to say. Let's say I disagree with that move. Let's just say that. Well, I guess, like, I can see the idea. He's still creating, like, he's still taking out this field platform. He's still, you know, creating a chance for this guy to invade into the main field, but why not just play the obvious move? Because chances are he's not going to finish that city. He's going to be trapped at 1 point. There are really not that many city caps remaining. If any, actually. Well, there's a splitter still. And I think that's it? Yeah, so he's now going to be continuing his city. Miami's dropping a farmer. Doing everything he can. You know, meepling an 8-point monastery.
Glovier is saying the only thing green has to do to guarantee the game is farm. Not necessarily, just scoring is fine. But the city cap move does neither. Because, like, if you go here, if you go there with the farmer, it's at least 3 points. And the city cap might be stuck there as one. Also, like, I still don't see a city cap other than the splitter. Is there a starting tile? Maybe no. No starting tiles, no barbed wire tiles, no vanilla city tiles, no vertical splitters, and how we're doing for daggers. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. So only one dagger. So actually it is absolutely conceivable that the German player would draw both city caps and keep Lord there stranded with 1 point. Lord is trying to block, but German fans should not be worried about this move. There's still a tile that goes into that square, the splitter. And the German needs the splitter anyway because he doesn't want Lord to finish this city. Okay, so we have an invasion here and a road. Some the horse tile gives 4 points to Lord. Miami with a straight line blocks this city, if not definitively, at least somewhat. Let me just double check the daggers. No, it actually blocks it definitively because the only dagger that remains in the game is the other kind of dagger. So the dagger which goes not like this, but the one which goes like this. Also, very nice quick tile counting from Miami. Blocking from here is better than blocking from the other side, because blocking from the other side would leave a 50-50 chance of finishing this city. So now British fans a little bit worried. I mean, they still shouldn't be. The field is just not big enough. Like, the truth is that the British player can afford to lose the field, I think. So the best possible runout for Miami, of which there is sadly only like 20% chance at this point, is to draw a tile like this, the splitter, then draw the other city cap to not only overrun the field but also score field quick points, and then to make sure that Lord does not connect over here, which I'm not sure is possible to accomplish easily, but maybe. So yeah, so going over here, not allowing Lord to connect, that's nice, but with that dagger, I think the British player should be just fine. Going over here, dropping a farmer, it will just give him 6 points, and 6 points is just enough. But also, by the way, had the British player dropped a farmer, he would have had 3 extra points comparison to what he has in the game, because of, you know, he would meeple a 6-point farm instead of a 3-point farm. Now precise endgame is in order. Miami does overrun the field, which is what he had to do, but 40 points on the scoreboard is going to be just a little bit too much. Well played is saying the German player is taking the loss in stride. And, you know, they still have a decent chance of qualifying in the lower qualification bracket. 2 points for the road. Miami gets a road tile. Probably going to score 3 quick points with it. No, of course, he doesn't have a meeple. Well, actually, that's a bit of a mistake from Miami. So there was a way. What he should have done. He should have gone over here to prevent this field expansion move, to make sure that if green places a tile that goes here, that this would eat up this other farmer as well. So little 3-point there. Mistake. Oh yeah, okay, so that's explained it actually. Miami is saying, unfortunately, they have been sick all week. That explains the last endgame, but, you know, been there, done that. Sucks being sick. Hopefully Miami feels better soon. Soon enough to show us some spectacular Carcassonne in the lower bracket. But we congratulate the British fans and Lord Terryclough, who, despite the loss of a gigantic field, still manages to hold on to a 20-point lead, approaching the master level threshold, by the way, with his 689 rating, and reaching the finals, the upper finals of the qualification bracket, where he will be playing against Ilya Slonimsky. And Miami will be playing against the Chilean player with a screen name. This is Vegan CLN with the lovely name for Carcassonne, Vladimir. But, you know, a bit of an uphill battle. He needs to win this and this and this and a bunch of other games, whereas Lord would need to win just one match. So let's update the score. And because today has been so spontaneous, let's just see if we have any other matches going on, you know. Is anybody aware? Because I know that sometimes players are very, very quick in scheduling. So let's have a look. Let's see what our plan's going to be for the next couple of days. Yeah, so we already have the results in. Very nice reaction. So either the players have already submitted, or maybe the organizers are watching us. I hope that's the latter. Oh, thank you for the very, very quick updates. Look at this. There's even an update that this game is being streamed. Oh, isn't that nice? So thank you for that, Sergey. All right, next game. So there are indeed no games today. We have some interesting stuff tomorrow. Unfortunately, I will not be able to stream any of them. Standing Blader against Silent Monk, where I'll be rooting for my teammate. Then this one should be pretty interesting. The Japanese Master against the, I guess, second highest rated player in Italy, if I remember correctly. And then a couple of games which are unscheduled. On the 8th of December, I will stream something for sure. It will be either these two morning encounters or maybe an evening encounter, but it will be a stream with a short notice because that will depend on other games which are played in the day and you know, some other plans. And on Monday, I can't stream this. I will need to be focused against definitely one of the best players online and one of the highest rated ones in the finals of the upper bracket of Q4. So then that's going to be it for today. Thank you for joining this semi-spontaneous stream. And see y'all in a couple of days. Make sure to meeple the like button if you do like something about those streams and want to boost the algorithm. Oh wait, I think my chat has been updating slowly again. Let me just double check. Yes, 2 city caps remaining, so I was counting correctly. Wait. Wise Maze is saying that the starting tile move in the end game of the first game has its merits. If Miami didn't do that, Lord Terrycroft could have united all the fields for +6. For +6, not for +3? Did I miscount the farms again? I thought it was a 9-point field versus a 12-point field. Actually, I'm still pretty sure that's the case. So then that would be unifying. Wait, no, why would Lord Terryclough unite the field? I don't think I get this. $15 points on the left. You know what? We still have that game open, I think. Let's just... So, wait, where's the first game? Okay, this one. No. Ah! 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my god. 5. This city is touching the farm. Oh my god. Going over here. Huh. So this move would have been indeed +6. Okay, so let's think about it. So Miami got in the game -1 with the tile run out, -1, then 3, so that's 4. And Lord got 5. That's the maximum, right? So he got 1 extra point. If Miami were to take this 4-point road, he would get 4. Then Lord would get 6 by unifying these farms with a curve. And then we would get 3 with a Dorito, so we would gain 1 point. So actually what this would have done, this would have just made sure that we lose the game with a 1-point difference instead of a 3-point difference. So the move of meepling this road was in fact better, but it still gave a 50-50 chance of winning the game either way. My bad. Yeah, thank you for pointing that out. So Miami going just for a different 50-50 option towards the end. Yeah, again, we score 4, we score this is 7, and our opponent gets 6. And we lose by -1. And then of course, yeah, if we get the curve, we win either way. Because then we go here and our opponent can score only 3. And then we win by 2. So yeah, it's a coin flip, just a different kind of coin flip. Alrighty. So thank you so much for pointing that out. Yep, 9 points versus 15. No, that makes sense. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. We are looking at it deep right now. If this tile is not here, we connect like this. This farm is like this. Yeah, it all makes sense. Maybe there are a bunch of other 50-50s as well. No, they're not. They're not. Yeah, it's either taking this road, not allowing our opponent to draw a curve, or it's simply going over here. But actually, another thing that I would argue is maybe this move. If you just take the road, it allows a bit more room for mistakes. Because imagine if our opponent gets a curve, then maybe they're in time trouble, which they are, and then maybe they are just like too scared to unify the fields because they think that maybe you have one more tile to reinvade and win the field outright, or maybe like they didn't calculate the points precisely in the close game or something like this. So, I mean, obviously, I don't think he's going to miss an endgame move, but if I have a choice of different 50-50s or like different path to victories which require some specific tiles, I also want to choose the path which makes my opponent's life a little bit harder, in the sense that it is more difficult for them to find the right move. So in the game, of course, the 50-50 didn't work out, but also the win for Terry Croft was very, very easy. Just like make the highest scoring move on the board. Whereas in the other situation, we would also need to do this. Oh yeah, there are plenty of 50-50s. I think also there's one more. As Miami, like if we're looking for the curve, we could just get the starting tile and go here and try to just win this 9-point road. That would also work out. So very often when there's a 50-50 in the position, there are just so many options to do it. It's the one which Miami chose is sort of the flashiest one, I guess. Isn't that interesting? Well, anyway, yeah, so tough day for Miami and German fans. Hopefully they feel better soon. And then I think we should be good. no more matches today. Tomorrow, no streams. So feel free to watch the action on just Board Game Arena alone, and something happening on Sunday for sure, with just a bit of a short notice. Yeah, thanks. Wiseman is pointing out so that a tie would count as a loss for Miami as well, so he would need to win at least by 1 point. That's because Miami was the starting player. But I leave the rest of the endgame to analyze to my viewers who are interested in that. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'm gonna see you soon.